The following show is a paid program.
Hey family, how you doing today? I'm so excited to wait. Today we have attorney Symone Redwine, Ready to Love cast member, season 3, and she is here with me. Hey lady.
Hello, I am so excited to be here.
I am so excited you are here, lady. I've been waiting on this day. Because over the weekend you all have had a lot of watch parties and a lot of things like that of the new episode of the series, the 3.
Yes.
Ready to Wine. Whoa, my God, Ready to Love. Love that. How did you become an attorney and why?
So I decided to become an attorney as a little girl. I said I want to be a lawyer because I want to help people, but I didn't want to be poor anymore. So it just started with that little basic fact.
Right.
And then I really enjoy problem solving. I like helping people, and I've always been sassy. So I said, what's the job I can do where I can help people, I won't be poor, and they pay me to be sassy? Lawyer. There we go.
I love it. I love that.
Yeah.
This new Ready to Love season 3. Oh my God. Just looking at it and seeing it. It is juicy.
It's gonna be good, honey.
This is Team Symone today.
Yeah.
There
Team
you go.
Symone, hashtag Team Symone.
Let's look at that. What type of man are you looking for now?
You know, I want somebody who's going to be my best friend, my cheerleader, my advocate. I want to be a teammate. You know, in school, in undergrad, I majored in finance. So we had to do all these little business projects. And I pick my man like I also pick my teammates, you know, in business school, which is I came to learn that I need to be the dumbest person in the group. If I'm the dumbest person in the group, we are definitely going to get an A. So with that, I mean, when I'm dating, I want a guy where we're equal, or at a minimum, sometimes I'm going to do a little better, but I know I can count on him and all the weight won't be on me. Otherwise, we'll only be as successful as how I pull. And if I date somebody that I'm always having to pull up, I'll never reach my full potential.
Absolutely. In the past, just looking at the past relationships, what went wrong?
So on the show, I'm very self-aware.
Yeah.
And I acknowledge the fact that, you know, I was in this relationship with this guy for about 7 years, off and on 7 years, great on paper, super smart, great job, etc., millionaire. But he just wouldn't act right. Neither would I. Neither would I. It was toxic. But I kept saying, I don't know why I can't break it off. It wasn't the money. It wasn't the looks. And I came to realize, oh my gosh, he's my daddy. I got daddy issues.
God.
I realized he loved me, but he was hypercritical. Nothing I ever did was good enough. Yeah. If I got published, I had a published article my first year practicing law, and he said, oh, that was awesome, but you forgot a comma in the second paragraph. And I'm like, what? You know, and so I said, oh my gosh, you replicate my dad. I gotta work on my daddy issues, because if I don't, I'll never be in a healthy relationship. Fast forward, I called up Daddy and I said, Daddy, we got to do something about this. And he agreed to go to therapy with me. Once I started going through therapy with my dad, my dating life has improved dramatically. Wow. I went from men running from me to running to me, and now I can't get rid of them. So honestly, one of the reasons I wanted to go on in my challenge now is I have quantity, but not quality.
That's why you're starting on Ready to Love.
That is why.
Yeah. I
need help. I think one of my challenges is because I'm very direct and I know what I want. I tell the men up front. My mama says I give them the answers to the test.
Yeah.
So they just do what I told them and what I said I want. They behave in that way, which isn't really who they are.
Right.
So then it'll take me a few weeks to figure out, that's not who he is. He's trying to be what I told him I want. So
wow.
I want to meet that guy who is naturally what I'm looking for and not just given that, following my blueprint that I've given.
I love that. So going on Ready to Love, when you went on there, What was an expectation of that?
You know what? I'm a huge fan of the show. I have seen every single episode. So I said, oh, I'm going to go on this show. I'm going to show those girls how it's done, honey. I'm going to show them how to get a man. And baby, I have a lot more work to do than I initially thought. Mm-hmm. So that was something that I had to be aware of. And it was such a great learning experience. Yeah. The castmates, they tease me because sometimes they'd be helping me work through this or that. And at the end, I'd say, oh, do I owe you a copay? Because I feel like it was therapy.
Right.
So now our running joke is, you owe me a copay.
I love that.
So it was so much. It was like Iyanla Vanzant meets The Bachelorette meets Big Brother, because we were all living together.
Exactly.
On the resort.
And let's talk about that. We were just talking about the reality of it. It's not scripted. It's real.
Oh, no. It is not scripted at all. Mm-hmm. If it was a script, I would have done a much better job.
I love that.
And I get that question a lot.
Yeah.
And I have to say, because we are living at this resort, it is our real life.
Yeah.
How it worked is the moment you stepped out of the room, your room that morning, you were to put on your microphone at like 9 a.m. And you had to keep that bad boy on till your head hit the pillow just about. Wow. They would literally come to your room and take it off of you. We were not even allowed to touch it. So I say that to say, and that could be 9 a.m. to 1 a.m. the next day.
Right.
You can't script all those hours
for
20 people. Oh, you were getting a little bit of everything.
Everything. So they heard every single thing.
I'm nervous.
They saw every single thing.
It looks that way. So Friday night, they released the CECIL, the long trailer, which is about 3 minutes long, giving a sneak peek of the season. You can go to OWN's website and see it, or you can go to their social media. And in that sizzle reel, me and some of my castmates, we watched it together, and we were like, we didn't know all that happened.
Right.
And I'm looking, I'm like, wait a minute, it kissing this person and this person. It's a whole pandemic out here.
It's a COVID.
It's COVID. But they COVID tested us. See, Miss Oprah don't play, Mr. Packer don't play with that COVID business. Oprah put Stedman in the guest house where he got exposed. He was just on the airplane. She put him in the guest house, honey. They had us quarantined for days when we first arrived.
Right.
And then they gave us an instant test. So you prick your little finger, and they gave it to you. You could not move until that thing came out negative. And that was good, because we was kissing on people.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Why look for love now, lady? Why now?
I feel like as an overachiever, I kept feeling like I need to earn it. I gotta get all my ducks in a row. I have to earn this much revenue with my firm. I need to own a home. Oh, well, I own a condo. No, I need a home with 4 bedrooms. And I realized, girl, you got to cut that out. I was moving my own goalpost.
Yeah.
And I sat up and I thought, I'm not getting any younger, first and foremost. And I do want to have children with my husband. So I said, let me hurry up. I need to go on and get me one.
There you go. Let's look at a video of you first.
Okay.
Of who you are.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
In these crazy times, we need love more than ever. I gathered 20 eligible singles from my hometown of Houston and brought them here to live together under one roof on this beautiful resort, away from the outside world. Use your time here in paradise wisely. By the end, only 6 people will remain. This is Ready to Love, Last Resort.
Premieres Friday, October 23rd, 9, 8 Central.
The weekend starts with OWN.
Ooh, it's
There you go. It's going to be action-packed, isn't it? That's going to be action-packed.
Yes.
But there's another one just about you.
Okay.
Let's see about you.
All right. Let me tell you, I have not been in a room with 10 gorgeous, good-looking men since I did a jail visit. Okay, and those are not the type of men that I'm going to take home to my mama.
I love that. I love that. I love that. I love your transparency.
I was so grateful. Because let me tell you, sometimes you be in those jail waiting rooms and those gentlemen look good. And I'd be like, oh, please don't look at me in my eyes. Please don't look at me. One of them, I had this one guy, he had the most beautiful eyelashes. And I was like, sir, do not look at me because you are fine. And this is not what I need in my life. No,
exactly.
Sir.
What you say,
sir.
no jail.
No more jail visits. You got to stay over there.
That is too funny. That's too funny. Now, you do stand-up. You were telling me.
I do. So I started doing stand-up about 3 years ago, so I'm very amateur. But yes, so I started doing that because, my job's so serious. Yeah. And I wanted an outlet to be creative because sometimes I'd post things on social media and people say, that's not professional for a lawyer. And I was like, well, sometimes I'm not a lawyer. Sometimes I'm just a regular girl. Yeah. And I'm goofy. So yeah, I often talk about dating as a lawyer.
Uh-oh.
Sheesh.
That's what we want to pick up.
Oh,
dating
goodness.
as a lawyer. When you first tell people that you're an attorney, a man, what happens then?
I usually don't. Because before I get so judged. Yeah. And I came to realize that, I can't take that personally because there are a lot of jerk lawyers out there. And somebody probably met one of those jerks and they ruined it for the bunch. And I'll be honest, I don't hang out with a lot of lawyers. They're weird. Yeah. They're usually not that fun. So you'll see on the mixer, I usually say I'm a lawyer, but then it comes out, I usually say, I'm a consultant. And they're like, what do you consult about? I was like, legal stuff. And then usually conversation will open up and I'll say something either about law school or this and that. And they'll be like, oh, so you're a lawyer. And I'm like, yeah, I am.
Wow. And you not finding love, lady? Come on.
You know what? Okay, so here's what's funny. Last year, as I mentioned, now that I've been working on myself and, a lot more self-aware of some of the things I need to work on, I have the quantity over quality issue. Last year I had 3 boyfriends. Okay. It was like one every probationary period, I almost by the fourth person asked me in a year and I finally got hit and I said, no, we're not doing this again because I've not been getting this right. Y'all are nutty. or they're not who they said they were. That's my biggest thing. They're usually not who they said they were.
So you're getting a representative.
Oh, boy. Yes. And the thing is, I don't have a representative like this. In fact, my girlfriends are like, you need to get one because you a lot of girl. You a lot of woman. And I was like, I don't know how to be anything but Symone. And so I probably overshare initially, probably a little too much because I'm kind of like, well, let him go on the way. He'll be back like the rest of them. My exes are like little cockroaches. You thought you got rid of. They just come crawling out under something. I was like, I thought I got rid of
Especially during COVID.
Oh, it's honey.
Let's talk about COVID.
Dating during the pandemic. Oh, you had to get creative now. I had to get real creative with them. Yeah. Because, see, time was a ticking for me. So at the beginning of this year, I had said, I'm going to dedicate myself to finding love this year. At the beginning of the year, I actually moved to Houston from Dallas. Yes. I moved to Houston from Dallas. And, Houston, y'all a little hot spot. COVID, a COVID spreader event is just walking outside in Houston. Breathing the Houston air is a spreader event. Okay? Right. But, I was using a lot of dating apps. Hinge, Bumble, I'd use those. And what's cool about them now is they have a little thing where you can do a video chat without giving somebody your phone number. So I was like, good. So if I really liked him after the first video chat, what I'd say is all right, let's have us a virtual date. So I said, okay, I'm going to get dressed up. I'm going to put on makeup and pants. I'm going to sit at my dinner table. And then you can send me Uber Eats to my house. Because I like free food. It's a pandemic. My economics have been impacted. Okay? And so they send me dinner and we sit at the dinner table. He would sit on his side. I sit on mine. And we sit and we talk and we have our little date. Some of them were boring. Oh, my And then God. For the good ones, there was 1 or 2 I really liked. Then he got elevated. We had a church Zoom date then. Okay.
Zoom date.
Yeah, we used the Zoom and I would share the virtual church. Right. And I would share my screen with him and he'll watch. I got to make sure you love the Lord now. Because you got to have the Lord in your life to deal with a woman like me. So it went really good after that. He thought he was in love.
And then what happened?
He was weird.
Oh,
okay. I did the background check and it didn't add up.
See?
It did not add up.
Okay.
That was one of the things I was worried about with this show because they took our laptops and our electronics. We can talk about that. But I did the background check. He did not pass.
He didn't pass?
No, sir.
Look at this. Look at this. So on the background check, ladies, now you got to listen to this. Listen to what she's saying. Okay. Yes. Pull in the background. That's the first thing you do.
So I got this down pat now. I got a system, like conveyor belt. My mom is really good at this. I actually like for my mother to do it for me. And I give her his name and his date of birth. And I ask him, I say, now, I really like you, but you know that I have to run your little background, okay? And you can do mine. So he'll give me the stuff so he can act surprised. Some of them say no. That's how I know that whatever is under there is real, real bad.
Right.
But for the rest of them, I give it to my mom. And how our system, me and my mom, how it works. If it's good, she don't tell me nothing. If it's bad, she give me a call.
Wait a minute now. Wait 1 minute.
No.
Wait. Okay, so the first thing you're asking for the name.
Name and date of birth, that's it. I want to know when your birthday is.
Okay.
That's all I need. My system is really good. I'm a very good lawyer. I've got very good software.
Yeah, you got good software. You're an attorney.
Yeah. But I mean, I have found some things.
Have you? Background.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so there was a gentleman. Okay. So I do have the rule that if I date men with children, I don't like men with children, but I'm 37, so I understand. So if they have kids, they need to be divorced or their baby mama need to be dead. Meaning,
Okay, now she said that. She said that on the show now. Well, I'm telling you right now, I've had 100+ calls saying, I don't date men with kids or unless they're divorced. The baby mama got to be dead and in the ground.
no, she can be cremated.
She can be cremated.
Whatever's in your budget. That's up to you. That's up to you.
Wait a minute.
No, I do a whole stand-up set
You do.
about it.
Let's
yeah,
talk about
I do
that.
a whole stand-up
Let's
set about it. What I really mean is I don't want you to have a baby mom.
Yeah.
I want you, if you have children, I want to know you planned your children, that you're not out here being irresponsible, starting families with people that you are not committed to.
Yeah.
Because how you treat her is how you're going to treat me. I'm no better than her.
I'm glad you got that because people were like, what? She doesn't want to dance.
No, I do not. I will not kill her. I will not kill her. I do not want your baby to be an orphan. No.
Because people took it out of context.
No.
It was so funny.
No, it was a total joke. And yeah, no, I want to know that you're planning your children. Do mistakes or not mistakes, but do they happen in other orders? Certainly they do. Yeah. But I really like and I respect those men who at some point tried marriage. Yeah. And honestly, I think I'm going to make an excellent second wife.
There you go. There you go.
I think I would make a good second wife.
That's right. Now, looking at that, most women want to know, men, let's go back to the guys. The guys want to know, what specific man? Let's be specific, just specific. He would be the best person for you.
Barack Obama.
Oh, he taken.
That's what I've heard. No, but you mean more
specific.
Characteristics. Okay.
Characteristics.
Love the Lord.
Yeah.
Has a close bond with his family.
Yeah.
He has to be very intelligent and wise and enjoys leading and understands that I'm a work in progress and has expectations of growth. I really want someone where we can grow together. And I think that's certainly a challenge to find because what does that look like, Right. But I think one of the advantages of being 37 is I'm very much who I am. Yeah. I've changed so much from 21 to now. So if you met me at 21, you wouldn't want to date me today and vice versa. Right. Well, you'd want to date me today, but vice versa, no. So, I want someone that I can grow with and who's just going to be my best friend. Yeah. Who's going to clown with me. Probably someone who's a bit more of an introvert since I am a big personality. And there's a clip of me on the first episode where I'm saying, I want somebody who's going to tell me go sit down somewhere. And people are like, why does she want someone who's going to demean her? And it's, no. I know I'm extra. So I want that guy who's going to say, baby, you want some water? That's how I know I've been drinking too much. Had a little too much red wine. Baby, you want some water? And then that's my cue. Ooh, I need to go sit down somewhere. I'm doing too much. Or he said, baby, did you have some dinner? Because I get cranky when I haven't eaten. Right. That kind of person.
But at least you know yourself.
And that's the kind of leadership that I like, leading with love. Yeah. And I think what I've learned from the show, most importantly, I want someone who will allow me to be vulnerable at the right time.
That's good.
That's a hard one for me.
That's good. And then allow you to be you.
Yeah, exactly. Because I have met guys who were in love with my resume, but not necessarily my personality. And I had to be clear, we come together. Yeah. We come together.
Yeah. Is that something that as you see your resume and you see yourself and just going together, that's been hard?
Well, I think it's surprising for a lot of people that I am as educated as I am. At 16, I received a full ride to the University of Pittsburgh to study finance.
Wow.
And then at 21, I got almost a full ride to Cornell Law School. And I went off to law school and graduated there, top whatever. And I think when you see those things on paper, you're kind of expecting someone a little more buttoned up and maybe not as jovial and outgoing.
Right.
And I think that aspect of my personality is actually probably more concerning to men. My flirtiness and bubbliness, that is probably more concerning than the fact that I'm an attorney.
Absolutely. We'll be right back with Miss Symone Redwine.
We'll be right back to the Cam Hill Show after these messages.
Ron Carter Cadillac, Houston's only Cadillac to your door dealer, delivers test drives to your home or office, like the new 2020 XT4 Luxury Collection, only $299 a month. The new 2020 XT5 Premium Luxury Collection, $399 a month. Or the first ever 2020 XT6 Premium Luxury Collection, just $499 a month. All for 39 months lease with just $1 down. Or purchase and choose 0% APR for 60 months plus $2,000 bonus cash with no payments until March 2021. Visit RonCarterCadillac.com.
I'm a Texas voter.
And I plan to vote
by mail-in ballot.
I'm a Texas voter.
And I plan to vote safely in person.
I'm a Texas voter.
And I plan to vote early.
I am a Texas voter.
And I plan to vote safely in person. In this coming election, voters aged 50 plus
will make all the difference.
Will make the difference.
Will make the difference. Will make the difference.
Will make the difference in elections across the state.
So make a plan now.
So you can vote however you choose.
It doesn't matter
where you vote,
how you vote, or who you vote for.
What matters.
What matters.
What matters.
What matters is that you have a plan to vote.
For more information,
head to
aarp.org/tx.
Vote. Vote.
Vote.
đi bầu cử.
और वोट करना मत भूलिएगा.
Vote.
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 唔該去投票.
When it comes to protecting yourself and your partners, all the information out there can be overwhelming. Visit our website. We are a free and confidential service, striving to help you stay informed and stay notified. We are committed to a healthy Houston.
If you helped a friend get a job, and once they were hired, they ignored you, what would you think of them? For a quarter of a century, Congressional District 18 has voted for Sheila Jackson Lee. And what do we have to show for it? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 13 times, she's got to go. I'm Wendell Champion, and I need your vote. Visit me at champion2020.com. I'm Wendell Champion, and I approve this message.
Hello again, Stafford. We are extremely proud of the diverse community we have in Stafford.
We need you to get out and vote for Cecil Willis.
Have you been injured in an 18-wheeler accident, truck accident, car accident? Was someone texting and ran into the back of you, not paying attention? It doesn't matter what it is. Give me a call, Attorney Willie Powells. We'll fix it today. The number is 281-881-2457. Again, that number is 281-881-2457. We'll fix it today. Call Attorney Willie Powells.
And now back to the Cam Hill Show.
Hey, we are back with Attorney Symone Redwine, Ready to Love cast member season 3. Man, I'm telling you, let's talk about Ready to Love. Let's talk about you being there.
Absolutely. Oh, the resort was beautiful. I loved it. I think my expectations, like, children There's a pool, there's lake, there were boats. But it got spicy. It got spicy. Well, I think the first thing was, I'm an attorney, and I own and run my own law firm.
Right.
Well, I think it was like a day before we flew out, or a day or two. They said, okay, and when you get here, we'll be taking your electronics, your laptops, and your cell phones at the airport. Huh? What? I was like, wait a minute, that wasn't in the contract because I read it. No, but they took our electronics because they wanted us to be in the moment.
Right.
They wanted us, and they wanted us to share so that we couldn't be texting each other and stuff like that. Like, if you wanted to go see somebody, you had to go knock on their door.
Right.
And you just better hope when you knock on their door, they don't have somebody already in there and you get your little feelings hurt.
Right. So it was actually the reality of not being in the world of electronics.
Yes.
Wow.
No electronics and no work. You had to really give your undivided attention to relationships, learning, the guys learning the girls, and things like that, which was very difficult for me because in the back of my mind, I'm like, deadlines. I still had hearings, I still had this and that. Right. But they worked with us. I had Zoom hearings and things like that. And then one of my cast members, Chris, he's KG Smooth on the radio. Yeah. He would record in his room. He'd just come up missing. I'd be like, where's my Chris? And they were like, oh, well, he's in his room, like recording his Night Storm or however that worked. But aside from that, and that was like a very rare thing. There were a few accommodations here or there, but we were in it. And it really had to be like a crisis. There was a time like my paralegal came, the production assistant came running up with something from my paralegal while I was at the mixer. And I had to like step away from the mixer. And it was something urgent. And I was like, ah. But then I was all frazzled and I had to like get my composure. It's first impressions. I don't want to be the angry lawyer.
Right.
So, yeah, having to put your work aside.
And that's something too. In talking about that, you being on the set, you're having to do these things and then going back to the set.
Yeah, so we're living in the set.
Yes.
So I think that was one of the very interesting things is, I would like step away maybe to the bathroom, but a mixer would be going on. And the thing is if I'm stepping away handling my work, some other girl's gonna squeeze up in there talking to my man. She gonna take my boyfriend.
Right.
So you really have to, time management isn't always like something I'm great with my ADD. So I really had to work on that, and you'll see how that went with the mixer.
So the mixer is one of the big things, huh?
Yeah, it's gonna be this Friday, and that is going to be an episode where it's our first impression. So it's first impressions and someone has to go home.
Wow.
So, last year, the girl who was the attorney was the first one to go home. They said she was lawyering people. So I was like, oh.
Here we go.
And she had on a pink dress and I had on a pink dress. I was just like, I don't know about this.
I love that. Why do you think so many women are single?
It really varies.
Yeah.
But I have to say, I feel like one of the things that I've noticed is that I feel like it's really easy out there for men. They don't have to court you the way they used to before. There's social media. They'll slide in your DMs, and call, be like, well, I asked you out. Huh? We've never had a conversation. Well, I DM'd you. No, sir. I'm a lady. Okay, I'm a lady. So I feel like social media has made it different. And also you got all these like booty pictures and stuff of these girls on social media. So they have these unrealistic expectations. Okay, I got tiger stripes. I don't look like that. And if that's what you're looking for, get away from me, sir. So I think like social media and media in general can make it different. But we're all different. We're not a monolith, and so it's really interesting because what I've realized is like I'm really good at giving dating advice to my friends and terrible at perceiving it for myself.
Right.
But I do think that one of the things that I had to work on that improved my dating life was letting men tell me the truth, to give me the feedback that I need to improve. As my mother would say, don't make that man lie to you. And that was frequently I saw a theme at the show.
Right.
Because sometimes we'd ask questions, not me, but people would ask questions they don't really want the answers to.
Right.
Who's your number one? Look, if you about to get that answer and get to crying, don't you ask the man who's their number one.
Right.
You know,
right.
things like that. So I think there can be a gentle dance with basically growing and improving from each relationship, but also being able to take away something. And part of that is the communication with your ex or having an understanding of why it didn't work out.
I like that. I like the fact of what you said just a minute ago about the truth. The truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard. The first time my mother ever told me that, I said, "What do you mean, don't make a man lie to you?" And she said, it was one of my relatives had said, "Well, you know, Auntie, you know, I just don't understand why he behaved this way. He told me he loved me on Tuesday." And my mother goes, "That's because you made him. You know, you sat there and you said, 'You love me, don't you?'" And she was like, "I did." And I was like, "I've done that before." And he was like, "If you say, 'You love me, don't you?' Of course, he's going to say yes to get you out of his face, but not necessarily."
I love that. I love that. I love that part. And if I think so many times, and this is on a man's aspect, just me just talking with and other guys too, if they said very honestly, "I want you and her too," what would that be? But that's the honest.
Like in real life or on the show?
No, real life. That's
that is not an option presented to you, sir. That is not an option presented to you. Now, but I will say, one thing I don't ask, like some girls will ask a man who's not their boyfriend, how many other girls are they dating or if they're dating. I don't ask that because my thing is, I ain't worried about who else you're dating. You might have been dating her first because you just hadn't met me yet.
Oh, I like that. Look at that.
Right? And I presume that we're in a getting to know you stage, and I like very handsome men. So I assume that other women are attracted to them too.
Right.
Now, I do expect, though, for them to protect my feelings in that, like, don't be flaunting her around. Don't be, you know, jogging in front of my house in the neighborhood, you know, with her in a little sports bikini. But just keep it classy. If you're dating other people, even if we run into a restaurant, if I'm at a restaurant with my girlfriends and maybe you're on a date, you know, I'm not going to make it awkward. Don't make it awkward. You know, I'm not going to ask you about it. Because again, if you're not my boyfriend, but when you're my man, we got expectations.
When you're exclusive.
When you are exclusive. And I believe that requires a conversation.
Yeah.
How about you?
Now, that's the thing that a lot of people don't understand, exclusivity. They don't understand that sometimes you're just dating.
Yes. Well, and that's when I believe it's very important to be clear on expectations, particularly involving intimacy.
Yes.
Because I think once intimacy is added in there, especially if it's consistent, some people presume, oh, well, if we're doing this consistently and your heart becomes involved, that, oh, well, then we must be an exclusive. No. You definitely need to talk about that. Because just because you're feeling that way doesn't mean, and if that's what you want, for me, I should never be in a situation where I don't feel comfortable talking about let's be exclusive.
Right.
Because I've had girlfriends who said, well, they didn't want to bring it up because if he wasn't ready, they didn't want to ruin the relationship. And I'm like, well, honey, you don't have a relationship.
Well, that's true.
If you can't talk, if you're being intimate with this person and you can't say,
that's right.
I want monogamy.
Right.
And then you just have a friend that you're doing it to.
But that is true. That's true. But that's where people don't get the concept of relationship. There's no communication there. And then there you go. Somebody scratched your car up. You go out there. A brick in your window.
That's exactly how it happens. Because they feel like you lied to them, that you let them on. And one of the things that I learned through my experience with this show is I need to do a better job of asking for exactly what I want as opposed to settling for what's presented to me or what's given.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good. Now that's a good one right there.
And that's hard.
Yeah.
Because you have to be vulnerable to ask what you want for what you want. You have to be willing to get a no or get a I'll think about it, which is usually a no.
Yes.
And then you got to do something about it.
And let's give an example of that so the ladies can know.
Like if I want a relationship, I have to be willing to say to you, I really like you. I'm ready to be exclusive.
Right.
How do you feel about that, right? And if he says, well, I'm not really big on titles, I'm gone. Because that just means you don't want a title with me.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I realized I have to put myself out there. I have to ask for exactly what I want. If I want a relationship, ask for that. Instead of what I would do before, I just get an attitude and I would self-sabotage. I start acting mean or sassy, passive aggressive. Oh, it's really bad with passive aggression. Instead of just saying, wow, I really like you. And before I delve deeper into this, I want to make sure we're on the same page.
Right.
So, and what's scary about the vulnerability thing is once I started getting better at it, I'm like hooked. I'm like, oh my gosh, it works.
Yes. A lot of people don't like, a lot of women have told me or said about the commitment, that men don't like to commit. So that would be the exclusivity.
Yes, absolutely. And sometimes we don't like to ask for it.
That's true.
Can be a challenge. But I've also been in situations where I was lukewarm about the guy, and I was like, oh, he took me on a vacation. I was like, oh, please don't ask me to be your girlfriend. Please. And we were on the trip, and he asked me, and I'm like, well, shoot, he didn't spend $2,000. Okay. And I regretted it later.
Right.
But he was a nice guy, and I thought it was what I needed to do because he was a nice guy. No more pity boyfriends.
There you go.
I am not the social services department. I'm not going to do that.
But also, you mentioned one thing. You've dated millionaires. And that's where every ladies say, I just want a millionaire. I don't care who he is. I want a millionaire. Let's talk about that.
Let's do that. So this particular millionaire, he played sports.
Yes.
Okay. And I used to say all the time, I wouldn't be his girlfriend during that. I used to say all the time, when you retire, we'll revisit, we'll evaluate it. And he used to laugh. He was like, only you're crazy, Symone. And I was like, no, but I want you to have the opportunity to get all this out of your system and so forth. And what I came to learn is that when men make millions at young ages, like in their 20s, they don't handle it in the same way. Who they are ends up changing and so forth. And so I knew we would grow apart from that. And I wanted, if we jumped in head first at 27 in those ages, I was like, I want to know who you're going to be. And who he was after he played sports totally changed. The experience changes you. He's still a millionaire. He's still doing quite well. And periodically I'll have friends and be like, why don't you just go date him? He is my friend. And I also recognize I was toxic. So I did a lot of crazy stuff. And so sometimes you have to do that. But particularly with the money, it's not enough because that's not going to make you happy. That's why people have, a lot of these millionaires have 4, 5 wives.
Yes.
Because they are the problem. You can interchange these women like Barbie dolls, but if you don't work on you, and a lot of times because they are so successful, the women don't feel comfortable rocking the boat, right? Especially because I've noticed one of the things they'll do, they'll take care of you and your family. So then they got this cheerleading squad over here, like, well, what about our rent? What about,
exactly.
I don't want the problems.
Exactly.
We're going to get our millions together. He can have them now. I'm good now. I'm
You good now?
He can have them now. But I want to make sure that the core of the man has the ethics and those things that I'm looking for, and that his money doesn't make him.
Absolutely. Let's do this. We'll take a break and we'll bring right back with attorney Symone Redwine.
Right back to the Cam Hill Show after these messages.
Now come test drive the much anticipated all-new 2021 Cadillac Escalade at Ron Carter Cadillac. And for a limited time, get an unheard of $19,000 in total savings on new 2020 Escalades, or pages $879 a month with only $1 down, only at Ron Carter Cadillac. Visit us today. Gulf Freeway, just 2 minutes south of the Beltway. Visit RonCarterCadillac.com, Houston's only Cadillac to your door dealer.
In this coming election, voters 50 plus will make the difference in elections across the state. The time is now to make a plan so you can vote how you choose in this coming election. Eligible voters can vote by mail-in ballot, and all registered voters can vote safely in person early or on voting day. Don't wait, make a plan to vote today. For more voting information, head to aarp.org. I'm Tina Knowles-Lawson, and I'm a proud voter.
In this coming election, voters age 50 plus will make the difference in elections across the state. The time is now to make a plan so you can vote how you choose. In this coming election, eligible voters can vote by mail-in ballot, and all registered voters can vote safely in person early or on voting day. Don't wait, make a plan to vote today. For more voting information, head to aarp.org/tx. I'm Chloe Dow, and I'm a Texas voter.
Greetings, staffer. This is Councilman Cecil Willis on the campaign trail in Stafford, spreading my message and my vision for Stafford.
Friendship and fairness comes before power. And I'm here to formally endorse my good friend and city council member, Cecil Willis.
Join me in my endorsement of Council Member Cecil Willis.
If you helped a friend get a job, and once they were hired, they ignored you, what would you think of them? For a quarter of a century, Congressional District 18 has voted for Sheila Jackson Lee. And what do we have to show for it? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 13 times, she's gotta go. I'm Wendell Champion, and I need your vote. Visit me at champion2020.com. I'm Wendell Champion, and I approve this message.
When it comes to protecting yourself and your partners, all the information out there can be overwhelming. Visit our website. We are a free and confidential service striving to help you stay informed and stay notified. We are committed to a healthy Houston.
And now back to the Cam Hill Show.
Family, I'm having so much fun today with attorney Symone Redwine. I'm up here just laughing and I cannot stop. Lady, we were talking about the fact of men, men, they come and they say they find themselves and they're entrepreneurs and all of that. Do you have just a bottom where you say, you know what, no?
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, we talked about millionaires, and, obviously all millionaires aren't a problem, but I do have a floor, a financial floor, okay? And my thing is you cannot be poor, okay? Yeah. No, I can't do poor anymore. I have tried it.
Yeah.
And as cute as he was, no, thank you, no, sir. Because for me, if you're financed, and by poor, I mean economically,
yeah.
Because if you're, the guys I'm dating are like in their 40s.
Yeah.
If you're 40 and you're poor, and I'm not talking about somebody who, made a business investment and it fly. I am talking doesn't have their stuff together. If you're 40, I am too old to be dating poor people, okay? I have aged out of that system like foster care, okay? I can't do it anymore. Because if your finances are not together, you don't need to be dating.
Yeah.
You need to be getting it together. So my last boyfriend, good God, he invited himself to live in my house. Unbeknownst to me. He was moving to Texas from another state. Right. So what he was supposed to be doing is just coming and finding an apartment, because I said, I don't do that shacking up business.
Right.
So I said, he was supposed to stay for like 2 weeks and either move in with a relative that lived in town or get his own place. 2 months later, he is still there. And I'm like, what is the plan?
2 weeks to 2 months.
2 weeks to 2 months. I said, what is the plan? I said, weren't you supposed to live with your cousin? He said, oh, that's not going to work. I'm thinking, you don't have a luxury of that. And I said, okay, where are you going to get an apartment? He was like, I got to wait a little while. I got to wait till like the end of next month. No, you do not. I said, it's okay. I got some. I gave him a lease at my house. See, he was not putting in anything on the bills. So I made it a number that I knew he couldn't afford.
Right.
And I handed it to him and I said, I'm going to need your security deposit and first month's rent in 48 hours. And so he left. So that was great. So one of the best ways to get rid of a broke man is to ask him for money. I learned that. But my biggest thing is he later said that, I left him to fail and that I wouldn't support him in his new business.
Now, this is one of your properties.
It was my condo. Yeah. Yes. He also said, I don't understand why you wanted me to give you rent. You were paying your mortgage anyway. Excuse me. This is not the Salvation Army. They are, in fact, 2 miles away, and I can drop you off there. But I think for me, it was the fact that he felt I owed him.
Yeah.
And mind you, we were a new relationship. We were like a month in. This isn't like a month in of being, this isn't 2 years. I don't owe you anything financial. Wow. And later come to learn that, he had unresolved mama issues.
Yeah.
Where he felt that women show their love by financially taking care of you, among other things. No, sir. No, sir, I can't help you. You need to go somewhere else to find yourself. You're 40 years old, you want to find yourself.
Yes.
How about you find a 21-year-old and you two can go look together?
Wait a minute.
That's what I told him. He was like, you're so mean. I am not. I am honest and I don't play. Please get away from me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is from 2 weeks to 2 months.
Without contributing to the house. His contribution, he'd make dinner and bring home flowers and things like that. But I later learned the reason it took so long, his credit score was 500 and some. I said, how is your credit score so low? He said, well, I have a foreclosure and an eviction. Excuse me? Didn't I tell you I wanted somebody financially stable?
Yeah.
I told him this, and this is a perfect example of a guy who I gave him the answers to the test. He pretended to be. He was like, oh, I'm financially stable. I used to work at a bank. I have a degree from, fill in the blank, great school. Yeah, you have those things, but it's not clicking.
Let's see some pictures real quick. I love it.
Awesome.
There you are. There you are, 37, Capricorn.
That's me.
That's you.
Yes. And my quote there, you can't see it with the graphic, but my quote is, you get what you tolerate.
Uh-oh, you get what you tolerate. Mm-hmm. There you go.
You get
Ready
what you
to
tolerate.
love, I'm telling you. Look at this.
Yes, and you can find me on Twitter.
Yes.
I like to tweet during the show on Twitter. I'm, girl, is that legal? That's my Twitter handle. Or you could find me on Instagram at Symone Redwine, and I spell Symone with a Y.
Yes.
So definitely, I love to interact. I love hearing the comments. I'm like new at tweeting. I only have like 200 Twitter friends, so please be my Twitter friend. And I like to interact with like GIFs. I've learned GIFs and stuff. So this is like really funny. Now somebody like GIFed me of my hair flipping, because I like everybody likes a good hair flip. Oh, Houston girls, we learned it from Beyonce.
Coming from Dallas to Houston, why so?
Yeah. Oh, goodness. Dallas Dayton was pits. Oh, honey. It was, for me, I think being born and raised there, I'd already met so many of the nice guys. And if I hadn't dated them, my best friend had, my cousin had. So I said, this is not going to do. Also, I found that Dallas men, they marry a lot younger. And most of them are like still married. Just the dating scene, disproportionately, there were a lot fewer African-American men and Hispanic men, which is what I like. And so there were a lot fewer of African-American men, though, and Houston has like 3 or 4 times that. So actually at the beginning of this year, I said, you know what, I need better quality. And I tended to find I had more quality and quantity here in Houston. So I said, you know what, I'm going to take my talents to Houston and see what's what. So I literally moved here in March to find love. And that was before I knew anything about the show.
You literally came here to find love.
To find love. Because I would come visit, and my girlfriends were like, every time you come visit, you get you a new boyfriend. I said, you know what? I do. I need to come make this my home and try
it. Every time you would come visit, this would be the place.
Yes. Oh, I'd have a ball. I'd go, there's so many different cool professional spots. And I think that was a huge difference than what I was used to. Mm-hmm. So because they had the different professional places, I felt I had more access to the types of men that I feel are my intellectual equals.
Yes.
And then when the show came about, I was like, this has to be destined. I was like, because I'm new, so I didn't have to worry about knowing anyone on the show. Mm-hmm. And I was the new girl, and now I feel like I've got this new, Houston family, yes. We're just a big, happy, dysfunctional family, We love each other, we get on each other's nerves, but there's so much love there.
Wow. You came here to find love.
I did.
Wow.
Yeah.
You moved your company, your complete company.
Yes, I now have a Dallas office and a Houston office.
Yeah. And let's talk about your company.
I'm dedicated to that.
Yeah, let's talk about your company.
Yeah, absolutely. So my law firm, I specialize in accidents and injuries.
Yes.
And that is with the Esquire Litigation Group, so esquirelitgroup.com. Mm-hmm. And I also, it's been one of my faves, is I also practice expungements. My website is myrecordisclean.com, where I help people to expunge and seal their Texas criminal records.
Now, everybody's going to call.
Oh, absolutely. Call. Actually, the phone number is, it's actually 214-ERASE-IT, as in erasing your record,
right.
214-ERASE-IT. Yes, and it's because, like I said, I wanted to become an attorney because I wanted to help people.
Right.
And one of the ways that, no matter what you do, when you're helping someone expunge or seal their record, they are so much happier after. And, you can do litigation, you can do other things where in the end people are, you you go in button heads, but it makes me so happy.
Yeah.
I have clients who are in tears going from, $12 an hour jobs with their bachelor's degree to having $60,000, $70,000 a year with full benefits, simply because some little theft that they were charged with, and maybe did just like time served overnight in jail was preventing them from their full potential. So I love that.
And let's talk about what the expunging is. What can you expunge?
Oh,
and
that's a great
seal?
question. So basically, in the state of Texas, if it's a felony, you can only get it expunged if it was nonviolent. So meaning it can't be any type of domestic violence or anything, no sex offenses, and it has to be something where you successfully completed probation if it's a felony. And then you have to wait 5 years from when you got off of probation if it's a felony. If it's a misdemeanor, if it's a misdemeanor, if it's your first offense, you can have had time served or paid a fine. Otherwise, for the most part, you need to have done some type of a deferred adjudication or probation and successfully finished it. And then you could either expunge it if you were charged with it and it was dismissed, or you can get it what's called sealed, so a non-disclosure. And so many people don't realize that that's an option.
Right.
And it's super awesome because it gives you gun rights back if you get a non-disclosure, and the public cannot see it. So it's still there. But like when I run background checks on guys I'm dating, I wouldn't be able to see it. Private companies, you work for, United Airlines,
Right.
they can't see it. The only people who can see it would be like the government and state licensing agencies.
Right.
But you have so many more opportunities.
And the great part about that, and I love that's why I wanted to bring it up, because the great part about that, so many people, when they're trying to get a job.
Yes.
Huge.
And so it's like it's like they can't get out of being stuck, right? You make this mistake, and then the job is like, oh, I can't do it because of your record. So that's usually one of the main reasons that I have clients call me.
Yes.
And it warms my heart. I truly enjoy doing it. And whether it's an accident or if it's expungements that someone has questions or needs help with, you can actually reach me at 855-4-SYMONE. Just spell it, and I spell Simone with a Y, 855-4-SYMONE. I love my expungement work.
Yes, definitely. A lot of people need that. I'm so proud of you. I'm so
Thank
happy for you. This has been fun.
I'm enjoying myself. I've had a ball.
this.
You can come. I would love to come back and give you some more tea.
Absolutely.
After some more episodes. I got to zip my lip for a little while, but yeah, we got some tea, especially with those little hidden cameras in the hallway.
Okay, so it's Friday.
Friday, yes. So it's on the OWN network, Friday night at 8 p.m. Check us out.
Right. Let's give the numbers again for you and how people can reach you.
Thank you. So you can reach me at 1-855-4-SYMONE. And you can also go to my website, myrecordisclean.com, to learn more about expunging your record.
Absolutely. And you also do accidents.
I do accidents as well. Thank you. Yes, you can go to my website, which is www.esquirelitgroup.com.
I appreciate it so much. Thank
you. I
This
really
has been so
enjoyed it.
fun. Hey, that's attorney Symone Redwine. You have got to see her. Ready to Love cast member season 3 this Friday.
Absolutely. Check us
See
out.
you
It's gonna be
then.
good.
On tomorrow, we will have Sharika Hunt, 12:30, 1:30. See you then. Bye.
The Cam Hill Show. If you'd like to advertise your business or become a sponsor, contact The Cam Hill Show at gmail.com.